Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. I hope you're all doing well today. In this video, we're going to be doing some filler work on this guitar using super glue. So we are starting a new project here. This is going to be a full nitro paint job, nitrocellulose lacquer. It's going to look awesome. It's a really cool green with some gold metallic in it, a little bit of shimmer as you change angles and stuff. All good. On this one, the customer provided this guitar body. He removed the paint, and when he did so, he got, a couple dings in the sealer, a couple dings in the wood, and some sealer tear out here. And before we go ahead and reseal this thing with the appropriate sealer to move on with our nitro finish, we need to fill those so that this is going to be nice and smooth. Now these are just small imperfections. They're tear out from the sealer, going in with the scraper and whatnot and just taking a little bit off of that. These sealers that come on these things are difficult to remove. So you don't have to take them all off to do a new finish, but if you take off a chunk of it, you need to fill it after. What we're going to be using today is our super glue. This is Starbond medium. I've got a whole assortment of Starbond. If you do want to pick some of this up, link in the description with a discount code, so go ahead and do that. It's an affiliate link, so it helps me out. Tip for you, super glue has a shelf life. It does eventually have its little chemical reaction that causes it to harden, and it can do that right in the bottle over time. It's an exothermic reaction, I think. Yeah, it heats up. I'm not a scientist, but anyway, if you want that to happen slower, if you want to increase the shelf life of your super glue, keep it in the fridge. I've got a fridge here in the garage that's 99% beer and then an entire shelf of Starbond super glue, which I use frequently. So without further ado, let's bring that in closer. We'll take a look at what we're dealing with here, and we'll get these things filled so that we can move on with the painting in the next video on this series. So I've got a fresh super glue here, and these things come with a few items. Am I focused here? Hang on. Hopefully. So they come with your glue. Again, this is a medium that I'm using. If I'm doing something thinner, there's a thin glue, there's a thick glue, of course, for various applications, and there are colored ones. If you're doing filling work, there's brown and black. Believe it or not, yesterday I used the super thin glue to glue my mother's fingernail back together. That didn't seem like fun, but anyway. So it comes with a couple nozzles because these can jam up. Take them off, clean them when you're done, and recap your glue. You won't have so much of an issue with that, as opposed to the ones that you buy at Home Depot where the nozzle is part of the thing and it jams up and, well, you're screwed. It also comes with these fine applicators. Let me see if I can get you a better look at that. Here we go. These fine, flexible applicators for doing very fine line finishing, or fine line gluing rather, and a cap for those as well. So these you add onto the end of your nozzle, and they give you the ability to do a very fine fill. Hopefully I kept this in camera for at least most of that. So this is a pretty straightforward process. We're gonna take this guy. We have to cut the end off it because it comes sealed when you get it. You can use scissors for this, or, well, I used, what was it, like side cutters the other day, but it's best to use something very sharp to get a nice clean cut. So I'm keeping a very small hole there, and I'm using just a razor blade to do that. And you can cut that back further and further if and as you need to, but hopefully you don't need to. We're gonna put this on. Now, I'm not doing a crazy fine application here. I'm just filling some little nicks and stuff. So I'm gonna use this as is. We'll zoom you in a little bit here, but there's really not a whole lot to this process. If you're doing this to try and match wood, you can mix or sprinkle a little bit of sawdust in there, or you can add this and then sand over top of it immediately to go ahead and fill those spots. But I'm just filling the sealer, so I'm just going to add some to build up a little bit, and it's going to flow out to the edges of the sealer and fill this area really nicely. And I'll just have to come in after and do a little bit of sanding to clean it back up. So there we go. That's going to dry clear like that with a little ridge there, and then I'll come in and sand after. Let's zoom you in even further and take a look at this next one. All right, I guess I'm going to hold this hold this closer for you so you can see it. I don't know if I've got enough light on there, but there's definitely a little sealer tear out there. Sorry, hopefully that focused better. And unfortunately, me being left-handed doesn't lend itself too well to this for where my camera is set up. But I just put this right on one edge, give it a little squeeze, squeeze a bead of glue into there. Piece of cake. And now that's filled. It'll take a couple minutes to dry. You can make this dry faster with an accelerator spray, which comes with the Starbond stuff. But if you do that, it changes the integrity of it a little bit. It's kind of like when you freeze water really quickly and it dries white instead of clear. Not too worried about the clarity, but in order to avoid, at all risking reducing the density of it or anything for the purpose of filling, I don't do that. I just apply it and let it dry on its own. So let's continue. We've got a few more of these. Let's see. That one's basically dry now. Try not to touch this stuff. You end up gluing your fingers together after if you do. Ooh, big one there. That one looks fine. So you do need to worry a little bit about gravity when you're doing this. So you may have to flip the thing around and hold it for a moment. The ones that I just did, I'm not too worried about. This stuff dries fast enough that that's not really an issue. So I'm flipping it around, filling this guy now. And I'm going to hold it like this for about a minute before I go and put it down to fill the next one. All right, guys, so that is how you do that filling. When you're done, make sure you close up your glue again. Try to avoid getting it on your hands, of course, like I said. Clean off your nozzle so that when you put your cap back on it, it doesn't get stuck. And if you can, actually try to clear it out a little bit. You can blow it out, or one of the things that I like to do, because me and I have a bunch of these kicking around here, so I like to just take a little chunk of excess guitar string and pass that through. Unfortunately, I do end up touching the glue with that. But yeah, pass that through a couple times. Make sure that the end of this stays clear so that I can use it again. The package does come with 2 of them, but you don't want to have to, buy 10 of them. These glues last quite a while. I've only used a very, very small amount out of this. So that's about it for how to fill those tear-outs with super glue. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. And remember to subscribe so you can see the rest of this series. It's coming up soon, and it's going to be an interesting one. Thanks for watching as always. Have a good one. I'll see you next time.